Hi everybody, Jim Beebe with Unbreakable Athletics. Megan's just going to pass out a little flyer which you can make an airplane to throw at people, or you can read a little bit more about what we do. Has anybody been to the gym before? Great. Anybody been to the gym and doesn't want to come back because they're not want to look at me, right? Anybody need to go to the gym? Nobody. Oh, one person. Awesome. All right. Has anybody, if you haven't been to the gym, have you guys heard of us?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Anybody know where we are? So I'm not very good at marketing, truthfully, right? So if you don't know where we are, that's completely my fault. So if you go up 267, there's the high school's on one side of the road. On the other side is ABC Distributors, those blue warehouses. That's where we are. I didn't put any signage out, not very good at that either. But we are good at training people to be healthier. So we've been around since March of 13. My background before that was financial planning, investments, trading. Been working for JP Morgan, the big bank, and was tired of it. And then I started doing CrossFit, started training, getting certified, interned for a year while I was at JP Morgan. And I thought, you know what, I'm out. So mid to late 30s, little, I guess, personal crisis, I guess, right? You're going from financial planning to making people healthier. You're still making people better, but it's a whole different line of work. So that's what I've been doing since March of 13. Couple lines of business that we have. We work with adults, mostly with CrossFit. We work with student athletes in our sports performance program, and then we have our strength athletes. It's a very small number where they just want to lift and get stronger. And then we have our nutrition piece where we work with individuals, whether they're in the gym or not, on how to eat healthy for their lifestyle. And the last piece, and we'll be talking a little bit more about today, is the foundation that we have there, the U Foundation. So, anybody heard of CrossFit? Anybody leery of CrossFit? Right? Why?
It just sounds really intense.
It sounds intense. Who else raised their hand and thought they're a little leery of it? Yes.
Just potential for more injuries.
Potential for more injuries, right? Yes.
I watched the CrossFit games and said, not me.
Right? Right? I watch the football games too and I say, not me, right? What else? Anybody? So everything works and all of it's true, none of it's true, right? So you have plenty of athletes that get hurt when they're running, you get athletes that hurt when they're CrossFitting, athletes that get hurt when they're swimming. So here are my thoughts on CrossFit and what we do. CrossFit is designed to make you a well-rounded athlete. Functional movements done through high intensity. That's where the intense part comes from, right? An example is if you're an expert walker, and all of you should be an expert walker by now, walking intensely is walking very fast, right? Now, if you're doing CrossFit, you're doing something else, but you're trying to do it quickly. And the quickly part is where people can get hurt because intensity has increased, so risk then goes up, right? Here's our thoughts on that. If I'm well-rounded, I have a less chance of being hurt. If I'm one-dimensional, I'm just doing one sport, then you have the repetitive use injuries. Just like at the keyboard all day long, if you're running all day long, knee, hip, and back injuries, right? If you're lifting only all day long, back problems, shoulder problems, lack of mobility, right? So whenever you're one-dimensional, you're one-focused, right? The repetitive use injuries obviously go up, risk goes up. If you're doing CrossFit, since we change things daily, that kind of risk then goes down because the repetitive use should be gone at that point. Now, with the lifting part, we feel everybody should be able to lift something. And there's 60 and 70-year-old people that will have to pick up their grandkid at some point. And that kid's gonna go from 10 pounds to 40 pounds and still want to be picked up, right? So we want to make sure people can actually move some amount of weight correctly. And I'll see people, and I always give this example, when they get out of their chairs, you watch, look around, we'll get up from lunch today. They'll come up like this, right? Well, they'll lean forward and put their hands on something versus just scooting to the edge and squeezing their butt and standing, right? And that's just a regular squat, and everyone needs to know how to do that. So we do one-on-one training with our athletes in the CrossFit area so they can understand how to move correctly. It's important. I've hurt my back a few times just picking up my car keys. Someone has bent over and I bent at the waist like that, and I'm like, oh. Right? So you gotta move correctly, whether it's your body weight or it's a lot more weight. All right? That's why we always have coaches there going through one-on-one training, and then when you come in as a group, there's still a coach there. And oftentimes there's multiple coaches there. And the ratio isn't that high. You know, most kids will go to a practice or a APC over at high school, and there'll be 70 kids for one coach. We might have 18 people for one coach. So, CrossFit, we want people to move some weight. We want people to be in shape, do some cardio, so you're a well-rounded person, right? That's what we want. I'll talk briefly about the strength athletes. Those folks are not well-rounded, right? Anyone that plays sports at a high level, you're not well-rounded. You're singular focus. So swimmers have a lot of shoulder problems, right? So you got to fix that. People that just lift, a lot of mobility problems, right? They're getting bigger. So even if you're 275 pounds, but you're only 20% body fat, still you're 275 pounds. So it's hard on your joints, it's still hard on your heart, even if your body fat is still low, right? So when you have a singular focus, you're going to have some risk there. Not many of those, maybe 5%, right? If you ever watch World's Strongest Man, the world's strongest woman literally trains at our gym, Jessica. Singular focus, she's about my size, heart of gold, stronger than me, it's quite emasculating. But great, great lady. The sports performance kids, for the kids, there's two things. We divide people up, so there's younger kids, or those that are a little unaware on how to lift. And then there's kids that are advanced, 8th grade, high school, college. First, just like with the CrossFitters, we gotta make sure they're moving correctly. If you see kids, they walk around on their phones like this, they don't talk to people, so then they kind of develop this a little bit. Or they're at their chairs, or their adults are at their desks or in their cars, and then people have this, right? And then instead of this. So we say, hey, we want you to front squat. Well, if their shoulders like this, then we can only get about here. But if I get my shoulders back, then I can get here, right? So just something similar like posture, we have to already fix these things on kids that are 8, 10, 12 years old. Just the basics on just how to move, right? They're squatting, they're sitting down, they're doing this kind of thing, right? I can see in your faces, you already know without even training with me that that's not right. So first we gotta get kids moving correctly, and then we add more intensity. What's that mean? Usually in sports, the first person to the field or on the court wins, so kids gotta be faster. How do you get them faster? They gotta be stronger first. Because if you wanna be fast, it's not just moving your feet quickly, otherwise Fred Flintstone would be fast. You gotta be able to exert force into the ground and propel your body and then hold your body mechanics. So you have to get stronger and then quicker. So once they're in high school and college, we're trying to make good athletes great athletes. JV kids, varsity kids, D3 or D2 or D1 college kids. And we've been doing that for about 8.5 years. The last piece, nutrition. Some people in the gym use this, some don't. Some people outside the gym that never come to the gym use this for nutrition. And the people will ask, so what's your approach there? Is it keto? Is it intermittent fasting? Is it Whole30? And again, everything works and nothing works, right? So I have a farmer who's on combine right now all day long, 14, 15 hours. So for him, intermittent fasting works well for this time of year. In a few months when he's done with harvest, we'll have to change that. I got other folks where they have a high burn rate because they're very active, right? So they have to take in a few more carbs for the energy. The point is this: we take what your lifestyle is, and we make little tweaks to get you where you want to be, and we change your nutrition that way. There are some basics, right? You should have enough water, you should have enough protein per pound of muscle in your body, but you've had these habits for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? You're just aircraft carrier going in this direction. I can't just say, hey, we're doing this. It'll be sustainable for maybe a 6-week program or an 8-week or 12-week program, but you still have 40 years of this. So once that program's over with, you're gonna start returning to this. So what do we have to do? We take your aircraft carrier and we just turn it a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Literally, if you wanna get better at your food, any idea what step 1 is? Just any idea? What's that?
Reading labels.
Read labels good. Track it. What goes in your mouth? How do I know what's even going in? What kind of data do we have? So you can either put that down in a notebook or get MyFitnessPal, which is free. Or what we do with our group, we have a closed group page, and we'll say, hey, whatever you eat that day, just take a picture, post it to the page at the end of the day, post all your pictures, write down what you did. We're not going to say this is good or bad or otherwise, just know what you're doing. Whatever you track every day, you will get better at, whatever it is. And in this instance, if it's food, you will already start getting better because you know what your habit is. You can't really improve your habit until you have the habit, right? Okay, so we train athletes or adults to be healthier. We train kids to be healthier than really good athletes. We have a few strength athletes that are anomalies, they're crazy, but they're a lot of fun. And then we do nutrition. Everybody with me? Am I talking too quickly? I do that often. Okay. All right, the last piece, and this is new-ish, we have the U Foundation. It's our mechanism for our philanthropic work. Even the first few months when we opened, I opened in March of 13. May of 13 was our first philanthropic work. It's the Memorial Day Murph. If anybody has seen the movie Lone Survivor, anybody? Michael Murphy, right? Everyone died except for one, right? Read the book, Lone Survivor. It's great. The one guy, Marcus Luttrell, he survived. So Michael Murphy was the leader of that expedition, Navy SEAL. They got beat, they lost, they all died. So his family out in New York, they have a foundation that helps kids go to school. They can't afford it, so CrossFit gyms across the country on Memorial Day do a Memorial Day Murph. It's a horrible workout. You run a couple miles, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then I ask people, hey, give me money for doing something terrible. And they do that, and then we sell shirts, and then we send money off to the Murph Foundation. Later that same year, we started doing breast cancer stuff. We call it unbreakable boobs. Almost everybody knows somebody that's been afflicted with breast cancer, right? Anybody? Right? It's 1 in 7. Vicious, unforgiving, right? So the same year, we're just barely started, but we started raising some money for breast cancer. We've done both of those events every year. Murph doesn't raise that much money, maybe $1,000 a year. Breast cancer, we would raise around 20 grand a year. So for our little gym, we're pretty happy with that. We're the #1 gym in the state that does breast cancer fundraising. We give the money to some local folks in our gym that have family members going through it that need help. And then we give most of it to IU West, since we had members from all through Hendricks County. IU West takes the money, they have their own breast cancer wing. Someone shows up with breast cancer, the first day they get this big bag of stuff from us. There's a nutrition book on how to eat when you're going through chemo. There are gift cards for buying groceries and going to getting the gas station. There's bottles of, so you want to constantly be drinking water, so we give a bottle for that. Last year during the pandemic, people couldn't get to and from, so we were paying for Uber drivers to come pick up our breast cancer girls that come to the treatments and then get driven back home. And it was so significant that IUS then has their own Uber driver all the time now. So the efforts that we had last year evolved into a full-time job for a driver because there's enough demand for it. We're in the middle of our fundraising right now for that because our first weekend in October, which is soon, is our big event where we raise money for breast cancer and we do a workout. Some people do the workout, some don't. There's some workout that's for everybody though. Or you can just help with the donations or buy shirts or buy sweatshirts or companies that want to sponsor. We're just around $10,000 raised right now. We have a few more weeks. We're trying to break our record last year. It was just over 20. So that's the second leg of our foundation. And then the third leg, we're partnering with Plainfield Youth Assistance Program. Anybody know about that? Okay. Hovermail's wife, right, Stacy? She's the director. So she's running the show over there. Essentially there are, and it's quite humiliating that I didn't know this, that in my own town of Plainfield, there are people literally living in poverty or they are homeless. I had no idea. I lived here enough for long enough that I should know. And so kids are going to the high school or the middle school and they're literally homeless and they go home. And there's a family of 3 that lives in cars and they or somebody living in one of the little hotels right over there. So they're struggling, right? And there's no way they're going to have the resources or the money to play a sport or let alone be healthier or come to my gym, right? Excuse me. So we want to help them. And so those kids that can't play a sport or can't come to the gym, they can't afford it or any of that, so we're going to set up so they can come for free, which means I have to buy more equipment, get more coaches. Those kids, they need to have the right gear to wear. I don't want them feeling silly when they walk in not wearing the right shoes or shorts or shirts, so we buy that for them. And then kids at a young age can do the sport of powerlifting. So we can give them a sport in which they can compete. They can learn healthy habits, right? And they can come and do that for free. So that part is new. There's over 60 kids or families that have already applied to the PYAP. And I got an email yesterday saying, hey, we have some kids that are ready to go. When can you start? So we're going to bring them on. We don't really have the funds to pay for them yet, but we're going to bring them on. So the third arm of our foundation is that. We're raising money so kids can be healthy and come train at our place for free. On the brochure that you guys have, I think you'll see a number of different U's. That's our logo. The red one's for all our gym stuff. The green one's for our nutrition. But the blue one on the back, that's for our foundation. So lots of ways we can help people out in different areas. And our mission statement is we want to make Hendricks County as healthy as possible. And mentally, physically, that's the goal. And that's what we've been doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Yes?
Where did the name Unbreakable?
CrossFit's main slogan is forging elite fitness, and our slogan is forging unbreakable athletes, because one of our core values is the word sisu, which is the Finnish word for the entire country, and that means that when you're at the bottom of your rope and you really thinking about dying or killing yourself, or your substance abuse or things, you got fired from your jobs, that you just never want to quit, right? Never quit. It's tattooed on my arm. So the word unbreakable is that things are terrible sometimes, and that's okay. So be thankful for the struggle, because it creates perseverance. And so being an unbreakable athlete means that when life sucks, don't quit. And the reason that the logo is the way it is that my wife's name is Jen and my name's Jim. So there's two kind of like J's, and it's broken in the middle, but the circle around is the community that holds you together. So that's the thought behind the logo. That together we do better. Good question. What's another question? Yes.
So how do you feel about intermittent fasting for teenagers?
So the answer to almost every question for me is it depends. So the question would be like, why? Why are they intermittent fasting? Do you have an answer?
I'm sorry. He just wants to lose some weight.
Gotcha.
So, of course he has some other friends that didn't know if he was healthy.
Sure. No, I have it all the time where an adult or a kid will say, hey, I saw this on TV. I got a friend of a friend that does this. And my question is going to be like, is that a lifestyle that you want to start for a while? Is that really what we want? I'm going to see, is he an active kid? Does he play sports? Well, then intermittent fasting is going to be pretty rough, because you're burning calories all day long, especially when you're growing. A teenager, my younger son, who weighs a little bit less than half of what I weigh, out-ate me. So if you play sports and you need calories and you're taking that away, so I would probably look at have him just track his food first so he knows. And we start looking at how much pop kids drink, right? All the sugar in there. That's a huge one right there. When they start, they skip breakfast and then they eat what they eat at the high school. Skipping breakfast. The phrase "eat like a king" at breakfast, a prince at lunch, and a pauper at dinner. Breakfast, break fast, break the fast. You've been fasting all night long, you're hungry, and then you skip breakfast. Now your body is getting upset and pissed off, so it's going to hold on to everything, right? So instead of burning anything, it's going to hold on to it. It's afraid it's at risk. So then you start holding on to calories, which isn't good either, right? So someone young, 3 or 4 meals a day, make sure there's protein in every meal. Drink a ton of water. Try not to have as much sugar as possible, but good luck. Right, yeah, donuts are a little rough. Donuts are a little rough. But I'm a huge fan of donuts, though, and got roped into some contest on Saturday. Thanks. Yeah, right? What's another question? Yes?
I would just like to say that if you do have an athlete, like a teenager that plays sports, you definitely need to send them to the gym. Gym.
That's right.
But we can definitely see in my son, his strength and his speed, he was already fast. You can tell on the field this year how much better.
Sure.
And his confidence is even better.
Confidence occurs from action, right? If I get an A on an exam 5 weeks in a row, I'm gonna feel pretty good about the next exam, right? My habits are pretty good. So you build confidence with these kids by doing things. And in so many kids, especially baseball, they're playing so many months of the year, those repetitive use injuries come in, right? So if you're always throwing and throwing and throwing, well, the only thing that stops the throwing is your rear delt and upper scap, right? So the kids are having a rotator cuff and Tommy John surgery because their upper back isn't strong enough. Strength cures a lot of sins in the sports world. So if I can get the kids to do some kind of pulling in some way, shape, or form and build their back and shoulders up, then they have the mechanism to protect their shoulders from all the throwing. So it's another thing we have to do with our athletes, to his point, that he's the kid plays soccer, he's already fast. What happens when endurance athletes get tired? Is it that their cardio falls apart? Not usually. It's usually their core and their low back gets tired. So instead of running with a good stride, they start running like this, right? Their stride shortens, and then they're slower. Their back and core isn't strong enough for them to be a runner, right? To be able to handle the pounding. So when you start ruining your mechanics for running, then your stride shortens up. Then you don't have the correct heel strike ratio on your feet. So being a well-rounded athlete, in addition to them doing their sport, improves them in their main sport. Anybody else? Yes? It's a good question, right? So we say anywhere from 7 to 9 can start. I got some 10-year-olds that can't because they don't pay attention and listen. And we're there to work. So, hey, buddy, I like you a lot, but if you can't pay attention, you need to sit over here, and if that doesn't work well, then you can't come back. Come back when you're, but I got some 7-year-olds that are like, they're in line, they're in formation, they're ready to go. I only have an hour, right? So 3 hours a week, 1.6% of your life. I got an hour to make a difference on this kid, right? So I got them to pay attention. So if they can pay attention, they're 7, 8, 9 years old, we love to have them. If they can't, we'll either work it out or we'll work it out another way. Yes, sir.
My granddaughter and her husband came to one of your events.
Oh, great.
It's amazing what they can do.
It is, right? We host the most events of any gym in the Midwest. So we do CrossFit competitions, powerlifting meets, we have the state championships. I'm the state chairman for Strongman, so we have competitions there for that. We host 3 charity events, so almost one a month. Any gym in the Midwest, we host the most. We want to give people the chance to perform and get small wins, so it's more fun. Anybody else? Rather eat than hear me talk, I hope. Great.
Thank you for coming
Thank you.
today.
Yes,
It
you're
was
welcome.
fascinating. All right, so let everybody have a chance to start eating. Before we start our election thing, would anyone like to come up and give an announcement for anything coming up? Miss Buffy, come on up. So you can be on camera. Come on up. I just wanted to remind everyone, Quaker Day Parade is Saturday, and we have partnered with the Oasis Diner again to do the tenderloin and donut hole eating contest, and there are several of you that are in it. Like Victoria doesn't want to make eye contact. She's like, please don't make me. But she has signed up, and Mark and Lori, and so, you know, it's love thy neighbor, the more the merrier. I know some, and Jill and Jim Beebe got trapped into that by his lovely friend sitting to his left. And her husband is doing it, so there's quite a few that are doing it. The Oasis needs some tenderloin eaters. So, you know, Mark and Brad is doing that, but I heard he gets a takeaway container. Because it's a lot, and Alex Hershey is like the reigning champ. Did Alex leave?
What about Alex Hershey?
So we need some tenderloin eaters. And more the merrier in donut holes.
Joey's laughing.
Joey, no?
Monty.
Monty? Well, how about donuts? But anyhow, all the proceeds, once again, for this event are going to the Youth Assistance Program. So it's a $10 entry fee. It all goes to charity. So if you know of anyone, just reach out to me. And then we have quite a ladies group going
Monty wants to do donuts.
with like Jill, Hunter, and Lori. And would you like to do donut holes?
Yeah.
No? Well, anyhow, whoever else would like to do, please. It's a great event. It's fun. We had about 150 spectators last year. So it's a nice end to the Quaker Day Parade. So 11:45 registration to 12:15, and then at 12:20 we'll start the first heats. So just email me, and then I can send you the consent form, so all of that is taken care of prior. And it's just a fun day, and you get to bring home whatever you don't eat. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Kim? Kim White? FC Tucker, Kim White. Just plug for you.
Okay. FC Tucker Kim White, you need to look at me, or look at me, look for me at the parade. I'm actually not going to be walking this year. I'm going to be manning the booth. And there's still a little bit of time if you want the opportunity. I am going to be partnering with a lot of companies in the community. I may have already knocked on your door and might have missed you. But I have partnered with at least 20 companies at this point. We have over 100 prizes that we're going to be handing out. Well, not handing out, raffling off. I do have handouts at the booth as well. But if you want in on raffling off something for your company, we're trying to touch as many people as we can in the community. So get with me after this, because I need to be able to promote you on social media, and I need some time, and I'm still delivering things, picking up things, and there's not much time left. So, Kim White, FC Tucker.
Thank you, Kim. Ron, come on up. Ron with Mercy Base.
I'm going to try to be as serious as I can possibly be. Okay, that was it. No, this Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, after everybody's been out in the parade, having a good time, at Mercy Base, we'll be carrying the good time over. We're having a movie night. We have a giant screen. It's supposed to be a nice evening, and you can come out and watch a movie, fellowship, help the children out by buying whatever it is they're selling, goodies and whatever, and just enjoy yourself, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I know you guys probably over the last year got tired of hearing me say this, but I'm really big about people who walk the walk, don't just talk the talk. And I wanted to thank Jim personally and for the club, not for what you do for a living, but what you are doing for this community. So thank you.
Mark Tedisco with.
I wanted to say something about the mural. I thought I'd mention, a lot of you know about the mural painting coming, it's going to be 25th, and I don't know if the artists started yet, but they did paint, I know at one time paint the wall white, but if you get a chance from noon to 12 and the 25th, bring your kids out, bring yourself out. You can put your handprints on the artwork, or they'll have certain areas to put it so you don't damage the artwork. I want to thank a lot of you. Some of you have already signed up to be sponsors, and if you are a sponsor, you can put up the table if you want. And I guess I should say what Rob would say: come out and put a little love on Stacy for that day. So.
Tell them what's that. Tell them what's that.
Oh, it's right. Oh, and actually, it's just go down this street, straight down by J.C. Penney. It's right next to J.C. Penney on the west side. So it's a big wall. That's where the artist will paint the mural, and then they'll have the handprints. And I think she's also the Prairie Crossing plans. Hopefully, plans to have media here too. So, trying to get more exposure to our program.
All right. Thank you. And Craig. Craig with Walmart. Okay.
Hey guys,
Craig?
It's been a minute since I've been here, but I just wanted to take a second and let you guys know how impactful this group really is to the community. I've been with Walmart for 17 years, and I'm up at Fisher's now, and there's nothing like this out there, guys. Just truly, seriously. You know, I wanted to be a part of it here when I was here, and I tried to reach out when I was up at Fisher's. There's just nothing out here like that, guys. You know, what you guys, the impact you guys have for the community and the folks that it's just truly amazing what you guys truly do. So thank you for that. So
Thank you. We miss you and happy to have Tori. Thank you, Craig. James Belt, Fabric Care.
Well, just a reminder, the Coats for Community is still going on. Our event is October 23rd. So we do need some volunteers for that event, although I do not know what you'll be doing yet because someone else is managing that. The Fabric Care has got a bunch of coats cleaned. We'll need to distribute them. We'll be distributing at Mercy Base. So if you have any coats, you can hand them to Rob or give them to me. Give me a call and we'll be happy to get them cleaned and ready to be donated. The first day we're doing this is October 9th in Bloomington, and then what is left we'll bring up here to Plainfield. So keep collecting, we'll get them cleaned and ready to use.
Thank you, James. Does anybody else have an event? Jennifer, come on up.
So mark your calendars for October 2nd for the Hendricks County International Festival. Second time we're doing it, and the first time was huge. So there's entertainment, there's food from all different countries, there's vendors to share about their country, and these are all people from our community. So these are your neighbors, your friends. It's from 11 to 3 at Talon Stream Park. What else? I guess that's it. So hope to see you there. And we are looking for volunteers if anyone is interested.
The other thing we're looking for the festival, we have yard signs to put all over Plainfield and the county, actually. If any of you have a business and you'd like us to put a sign out, I've got 10 in my car right now. If anybody wants a sign, let us know. Dan, I see you raising your hand. Come on up.
I just want to say a big thank you to last month, a few weeks ago, we had our Wonderful Christian Master Golf Outing, and it was huge, and I know Ron was there, and Alex different ones, but I want to thank some of you that sisters, pastors, or representative from church, or whatever. We had 25 different churches represented. It was pretty amazing. So it was a great day, and thank you for those that said.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, while you're eating, we're going to move on to the, excuse me, I need to explain this election process. I got some emails last night from members who weren't able to be here, and I got a call this morning from a member who lives in another state who wasn't able to be here. She has moved south. She wants to vote. The other members asked if they could vote too. So I am not able to reach Bill right now because Bill is doing a funeral service in another state. He told me before all the phone calls, that we could go ahead and have everyone come up that is running for an office and speak for a couple minutes to the club and tell us why you want to retain your office or run for an office. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I brought my big ballot box for everybody to put their vote in, but I think we're going to have to do it next meeting so I'm able to reach out to everyone who's on our roster, which there are over 80 people on our roster, including the principals of all the schools. I'm going to have to reach out to everybody and ask them if they would like to put their vote in online and submit it. And that's the only fair way to do it. I did call Kevin Rowland this morning. He said the same thing. You've got to let every member vote. One of the members has COVID and her whole family, so we have to do it the fair way. So at this time, I'm going to call everybody up here one by one that is actually wanting an office, and we're going to have you give us a couple of minutes what you want to do or why you would like to be in that office. So I'm going to start with the membership chair spot, which Bill created. Yeah, I'm starting there, Harry. We created a new spot. Because of the size of this roster, we're one of the larger clubs in the state. We need a membership chairperson to run this spot. It's a very important job, and I'm going to start out Harry or Diana, either one of you. I'm going to have you come up and give us a couple of minutes.
Question before that. announced it for the last month. You announced it for the last month.
Yes.
And you sent out a couple of emails.
Yes.
I wanted to show up and vote. And show up. Today's one of the biggest things we've had.
It is. We've got 40 people here. I just counted. But some people got COVID. We've got 2 members with COVID at home, and they emailed me and called me last night. And then I got a call from one that lives south that called me this morning and wants to vote. We have to allow her to vote. I called the state. Yes, Rhonda?
You did reverse. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I forgot. You told me that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to call Rhonda up here. Yes, you go right ahead.
I don't know where the microphone is. I'm loud enough anyways. I'm Rhonda Zollner. I'm the owner and operator of Bray Melons of Plainfield. First and foremost, I'm honored to be up here and be nominated for the vice president, president-elect. Is that right? And I've worked with Lori. I've known Lori for years and have been part of Kiwanis for years. And I have grown very close with the Plainfield schools. I've done presentations there. So Bray Melons, if you're not familiar with what that is, it works with kids that have some kind of need. If it's behavior issues, social issues, academic issues, and we look to why they're like that, and then we actually correct the problem by doing a service at our center, even at home. So with Kiwanis, working with kids, I try to work as much as volunteering at events, working with the local schools. I just feel that I would do really great at the vice president role just because I am close with a lot of you guys. I try to network as close as possible to the community. So I'm Rhonda, and hope I get your vote. Thanks.
Thank you, Rhonda. Chuck. Oh, I'm sorry. Taking a bite.
How about that? Call me eating a donut. And a work call. Anyway, my name's Chuck Day. I'm your current vice president. I've been honored to be able to do this. I so enjoy being able to get up here and tell you folks a lot of my personal feelings about what I think about the children of this community, and I get to do it every week. I also get to personally thank guys like Jim Beebe every time that he comes. We have folks that come in here and tell us about the wonderful things that they do for this community. I would be honored if you'd keep me in this role, but I'm going to tell you right now, just being a member of this club has been the most wonderful. I've been here 20 years in this town. And being a member of this group and being able to go out and talk about this group to the people in the community is one of the funnest things that I get to do. Now, whether I'm vice president or whether I'm a member, that part's not going to change. And like I said, I'm just completely honored to be part of this. And if you choose to have me as your vice president again, I'll continue to be honored to carry that on. So have a blessed day.
Thank you, Chuck. Barrick? Holly. Can I say one thing before Barrick talks? Kevin Rowland told me he was our past state governor. He's from Plainfield. He told me on the phone this morning he was going to try to be here because he's so proud of this club. He said, I don't see this. I never have people that run for an election. He goes, in every club that I've been to throughout the state, they're appointed. People take each other's place. They move from president to past president to secretary to treasurer. He goes, we don't see elections. He goes, in the Kiwanis world, this is very rare to have people actually step up and run for an office. I think it's a fantastic thing, and I'm proud of all of you, and I feel so honored that Kevin told me that. He goes, your club is being watched by the whole state. All of you have worked so hard to get where you're at. He goes, the fact that you have leaders in the community that want to run against each other, that is a positive thing. That is not a negative thing. That's a positive thing. He goes, you tell your people if I don't come today that I am rooting for all of them, and just the fact that they want to serve the children and the community of this world, he goes, that is totally outstanding. And he said, bless you. And I said, thank you. So that's why we taped it. This was spur of the moment. I reached out to Vincent Duke, with Ember Studios. Vincent, if you need anyone, Vincent's your guy. Vincent is there for videography. He's there for photography. He will do anything you ask him to do. He has a studio now. We're going to do some chamber things there in the next 2 weeks. I called him on a less than an hour notice and asked him to come, so this was all impromptu. Thank you, Vincent.
Awesome. Well, hello everybody. I'm Barrick Pauley with Primerica Financial. A lot of great things have been said here. It has truly been an honor to serve in this community. When my wife and I first got connected down here in Plainfield with a networking group, Gold Star Networking. We've met here at Brewburger for a little over a year and a half now. So that was the first introduction that I got to see to this community, and then from there was invited out to be part of the Kiwanis group, got to meet Lori, several of you, the Plainfield Chamber, and we've just gotten to see how well knit together this community is, and it's been an honor to be welcomed by most of, no I'm just kidding, by everybody we've been able to meet with. It's been an absolute honor to get to know you here as well. I just want you to know as we're campaigning, I guess, for 2 minutes for the position here, I'm humbled that you would consider me. I know a couple had nominated me, and I appreciate that as well. My heart for what we do for the kids started several years ago when I taught at Ben Davis High School. And what led me to step away from that was because I saw that there was not enough time in the day to serve the needs of the kids at the school. And so I stepped into my role, what I do now with financial coaching and financial planning for families in the communities, because I saw that as an avenue to be able to get into the communities and start healing the wounds of brokenness at a more basic level than just putting Band-Aids on it and talking about how physics works, which I will nerd out with you if you really know about physics. I'm more than happy to nerd out with you. But the reason I bring that up is because with the extra time that I've gotten with doing what I do now, I have the ability to participate in clubs like this and being incorporated now with Key Club with the Plainfield in high school. Very excited about that one. So regardless of outcome here, I just want to say thank you for this group and the community outreach and the events that we have that we're able to get together. And I look forward to serving with you either as part of the committees that we have, potentially as your club vice president, but definitely as a member. So thank you guys so much for including us.
Alrighty. No one else wanted to run for secretary against Bill. So with Bill not being here, we'll move on to treasurer, Jennifer, and then we have Jill. Does one of you want to come up?
So we're going to do something a little different for treasurer. I have decided to remove my name from the ballot. And Jill has decided to step up. I was treasurer for over 3 years, and I think it's time we have somebody else fill that spot. So, yay, Jill.
Well, we'd still like you to talk if you want.
Oh, pick yours. Okay. Well, I'm Jill Hunter with Sunroof Capital Partners. We do financial planning, wealth management. So I guess treasury goes right in with that. But most of all, I've always done my best to give back to the community as much as I can. I've been a youth mentor for, I think, 17 years. I've helped kids go from junior high up through high school, do Bible studies in our house, and just give back however I can, serve in different areas. The list is several areas, nothing to worry about. But I do everything I can to give back as much as I can. And so I thank you guys. I love this group. I love it. It's like a family to me. I can't wait to come see you guys twice a month and just share, network together, and just continue to grow and bless this community. So I'm humbled that someone nominated me, and I'll do my very best. And I thank you so much for everything. So.
Okay, we're back to membership chair. Harry and Diana, did you both want to come up here, or since you're both on the ballot?
And then I'll be right back, okay? Okay, so someone nominated me for this position, which I am honored. I have enjoyed being part of this group, but I too am going to defer to Harry. I think Harry's done a great job inviting people. I think he's more conducive to this position because he's already doing that job. But like I told everyone, I would be more than happy to help, assist, and do whatever I can in this group to help it grow. And I love what we are doing for this community.
Thank you guys for nominating me for this position. Like Diana was saying, I already do most of this anyway, but the thing I like most is that when the group grows, and from being here for about 2 years now, I've seen the group grow from, what was it, like 35 members up to like 80 now. So I have a question for, I want every member to raise their hand for a second. All the members. No, you're not volunteering for anything. All members should bring one guest at least once a year, okay? Because what that does is it helps the group grow the right way with people that are like you, other leaders in the community that want to help kids and help see the community do better. So I want to see everyone at least bring a visitor from now on at least once a year to help the group grow and help our president stay longer and make her name better in the community.
Thank you, Harry. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to pass these out to everybody. After you circle who you want, you're going to put it in here. I'm going to have Rob take this home if that's okay, because Bill's the ballot box until the next meeting. And then everybody that we email in their ballot for the vice, yeah, please. Everybody that we email to send in their ballot for that, we'll have Bill get that to you, since Bill and I are unopposed. Are you okay with that, Rob? Rob, are you okay with taking the ballot box home?
I'd just like to extend a membership opportunity to our guest speaker today. We want you to be a member of our club. Yeah. The second fourth Tuesday of every month. Okay. We like people that can come all the time, but it's not about everything that you do in this room with us. It's what we do outside of this room that affects change in this community. You're doing that already. We just want to give you a little more power to your punch, I guess. And the other thing too is, I always refer back to this because it is an important part of this group, and as it grows especially. I tell everybody that comes in as a guest, please watch Plainfield Chapter. Okay? Anytime anybody needs a service done in this town, or whatever they're looking to do, hey, good gym. I guarantee you, people will jump on their from this club and say, hey, you need to go to Unbreakable. It happens whether it's a realtor, it happens to where it's, I do my car fix. Whatever it is, you will find no better networking and referral base than you will in this room. So, we're here to help kids. That's what we do. That's our mission. But it's also a great networking organization. And we'd be proud to have you as members.